Greetings, good people. Greetings. What's good? I'm good. The name is P to the A to the K to the O. Yeah, aka Big Zwana, as my YouTube channel says. Yeah, so it's been a minute since I put up any content on my channel. So I figured, I found some relevant content, relevant for the time being, because there's something trending, particularly where I'm at in Botswana, south of the equator, just near the Tropic of Capricorn there. Sports betting is trending. So, yeah, man, I want to talk about sports betting, particularly golf and golf betting, but I'm not necessarily going to talk about betting today, like getting into the nitty-gritties, whatever of it. But I will be introducing you to golf. So you have to stay tuned for the next videos that will come up until we get to the sports betting aspect of it, because we first have to know the sport before we bet in it. So, firstly, I'd just like to talk about betting. Well, as you all know, sports betting is a form of gambling in a way, you know. But I think sports betting is different. There are different aspects to it. There's also the gambling of the casinos, even on the app. So, sports betting is something totally different, but it is an aspect of gambling. And I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with sports betting as long as it's done responsibly and reasonably, like a normal person. Yeah, so it's also in real time. It's sports events that we are watching. And as much as they can be match fixing and all those things, but those are rare. They happen, but you know they're rare. But so before I get far, what did I wanna talk about first? Yeah. How I got into golf. I'm not really somebody who grew up playing golf per se. Literally, how I got into golf was, they used to, like when I was staying alone at my sister's house, looking after it. So there was a channel on the golf channel on DSTV, right? And I'd always wonder how come I have this channel but I never watch. So I decided from then that I'm gonna learn golf. So I went onto YouTube and I started following golf. But this was long before I even got introduced to sports betting. So I followed the sport, just I'd watch golf there and there, whenever I could. I kind of kept up with it. So that's how I got into golf. But yeah, man, golf is a really nice sport. I'd like to just break the myth that golf is, yeah, it's an expensive sport, and there are not many facilities in many parts of the world. But doesn't mean you shouldn't follow the sport. There's no such thing as an elite sport or white man's. It's an elite maybe because it's expensive, yes, but other than that, I think it's a sport for everyone, man. So particularly I love golf, because it's a very unique sport in that it's I always say it's the golfer against the golf course. Even they say that it's the golfer against the golf course, right? As much as they're in a competition, in a tournament, but it's boils down to how the particular player plays on the golf course. And the nice thing with golf is it's you'll get back to back, somebody winning back to back tournaments, different tournaments, like maybe a tournament this weekend and then the next tournament next weekend. But it's rare because golf courses are different, right? So like this past weekend, the US Open was being played at Oakmont in, is it Pennsylvania? This course was brutal. Literally, the guy who won, JJ Spawn, had a score of 1 under. I know we haven't gotten deep, but yeah, it was a very brutal course. It was a tough course to play, if I may put it that way. And then you get other simple courses, like the previous course for the previous tournament, the Canadian Open. The course was relatively nice because I think the winner had a very high score. So yeah, golf courses are different, right? So that's I've been talking for a while now. Yeah. All right. Excuse me. So that's it, right? That's why golf is. But some of the things I think some of the things I'll remember and I'll come back to them. But let's get into golf. What is golf all about, right? So you always see these guys. There are two guys usually. The guy who's playing and the other guy who's carrying his bag, right? The caddy. Everybody wants that job of a caddy, because it's a really lucrative job. It can be a lucrative job, especially if you are a caddy for a big guy like Scottie Scheffler, Tiger Woods, maybe when he was in his prime, because he doesn't play as much anymore. So, yeah. So you see that guy who's the caddy with the player, right? And he's carrying a bag with these sticks, right? These sticks we call golf clubs, right? We call golf clubs. Are they even shaped? Something like, yeah, a golf, golf clubs, yeah, golf club. So those golf clubs, you see that there are a lot of golf clubs, for different types of shots and everything, right? So, but now let's get to the main thing. So what is golf all about? If, say for instance, I open a room and I say, get in this room, right? Get in this room. Then in this room, somewhere strategically, there's a table and I place something there, like a treasure there. And then I say, my friend, I give you, the standard is 4 steps to get to that treasure. But you can do it in 3 steps, I'll give you'll get a bonus for that. But if you go over 4 steps and make it 5 steps, that's a penalty, right? So that's basically what golf is. Now I'm trying to bring it to life now, okay? So in golf, this is a typical hole in golf, right? I don't even know if this looks, but you go look it up, right? So a hole in golf, we play holes, right? There are 18 holes I'm just going to talk about the professional sort of top tier golf, right? Not the amateur, because it's different. Obviously, there's levels to it, and I'm not really vested into that. Like I said, I didn't grow up playing golf. I just learned golf as I went. So we're playing a hole in a golf. There are 18 holes to get through in those holes. The aim is for you to obviously hold the ball and score the ball in the hole. Wherever the hole is will be designated, right? So like I was saying at the beginning of my example, when I was talking about a room, you get in a room and you're given 4 steps. If you exceed, you get a penalty. If you do it in less, you get a bonus, right? So each hole has what we call a par. You always see this thing of par. It's either par 4 or par 5. So that means that if it's hole 1 and it says it's par 4, right? That means you only get 4 strokes. Like the standard for that hole is 4 strokes to putt the ball or to score the ball in the hole, and then you're just even. You're just at par, right? You don't get a bonus. You don't get penalized. You are at par, right? Even par. If you do it in 4 strokes, so that means is what we call a tee, where usually the ball is teed off, right? You tee it off. Essentially, our